everyone, it's Shannon here for Hero Arts. In today's video, we are going to create a peekaboo card using the new February My Monthly Hero Kit. Real quick, I want to show you the peekaboo card we're going to create today, especially if you are not familiar with the peekaboo card design. As you can see, when I open up the card, a second image slides into that window, so it's a really great interactive card base, especially for storytelling. We're going to start with our panels already cut out of cardstock. I used Meadow and Antique Ivory Hero Arts cardstock, and here are the dimensions for those three pieces to make our peekaboo card base. Our first piece is the front, which measures 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, scored at 2 3/4, and you can see here it's in the upper left. It's also made out of the Meadow cardstock or the green cardstock, and you can see when you score at 2 3/4, you have this kind of small flap. On that small flap is where you add your first or your second picture, or picture number 2 if you're telling a story, and then you'll also cut a window on that. Our next piece is the inside piece, which is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and then scored at 4 1/4. And when you score it at 4 1/4, you basically create a perfect square. And you're going to die cut your window in both or on both of the flaps on that piece, that inside piece. Now moving on to the back, also made out of the Meadow cardstock. This is 4 1/4 by 5 3/4, and then you score at 5 1/2. And when you score at 5 1/2, you create this small 1/4 inch flap that you will use to attach to the rest of the pieces. And on this back piece, you'll place your first picture. So if you're telling a story, you want to put picture 1 on the back and picture 2 on the front, which I know is a little confusing, but once we put this all together, it'll make more sense. Now I have a circle here that's about 2 1/4 diameter, and I'm going to use the circle to die cut my windows. I'm going to place it here on my front piece. I'm going to have it on the right side, not much. You don't want it to go past halfway point pretty much with this circle. It needs to be on the right half. And you also want to make sure you leave at least 1/4 inch border on the right side. You don't want to go all the way up to the edge. Now I'm going to grab our center piece here, line it up with that front piece. Once I have both of those pieces lined up, I'm kind of using my work surface to make sure it's nice and square. Then I will grab a pencil here and trace that opening, that circle. I want to make sure that I cut my windows for the inside perfectly in alignment with that front piece. So I'm going to grab this kind of scrap cardstock here and just die cut it with that same 2 1/4 inch die. And now that I've die cut, I will then place my cardstock and center it around that penciled circle that I created. And once I get it centered, then I'll grab that die again, nestle it inside the opening of that scrap cardstock, use a couple pieces of tape to hold the die and cardstock all together, and then run it through my die cutting machine. But I am going to keep that center piece folded, so you're essentially trying to cut through. You'll essentially run 3 layers of cardstock through your die cut machine, which will probably make it not cut, which you can see here, it didn't cut through, so it didn't leave an impression, so I just kind of nestled the die back into the impression, used a couple pieces of tape to hold it in place, and then ran it through my die cutting machine. And after I run it through, you'll see here that it actually cut through both layers of cardstock really well. And this is the Hero Hues cardstock is really good heavyweight cardstock. It's like 100 weight, so it did pretty good. So now I'm ready to move on to creating my images. I have an A2 panel here of Dove White cardstock and Antique Ivory. I'm first going to stamp on the Antique Ivory, and I'm just going to repeat this. So I'm going to stamp whatever I stamp on the Antique Ivory, I'll stamp on the white. So I started with that umbrella, inked it up in a cup of Joe, and stamped on the ivory. Now I'm stamping it on the white in Intens-ified black ink. Now real quick, I'm going to create a mask. This is the only mask I need to make today. So I just grabbed a full adhesive Post-it note and stamped that umbrella just with the residual ink left on the stamp. I could have inked it up one more time, but I was able to see it, so I just went with it. I went ahead and fussy cut it out, and now I'm going to place that mask over the Cup of Joe umbrella stamped on the Antique Ivory, and then place a couple more stamps, some of these scenery stamps, the mountains and the water, and then I'll ink those up and stamp those in Cup of Joe. Now I'll remove my mask, and I am done with my little scene on the Antique Ivory. Now I'm just going to repeat it again, this time on the white. Again, put my mask down and inked up my images in Intens-ified black ink. And now I'm going to finish up by stamping this palm tree and the lower portion of my panel, first on the ivory in a cup of joe, and then on the white in Intens-ified black ink. So now all my stamping is done, and I'm now ready to do my Copic coloring. I'm going to start with the antique ivory panel that's stamped in the cup of joe, and I'm going to kind of attempt to color this to make this look like a sepia tone photo, so an old-fashioned photo. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm starting with a really light tan Copic marker, colored the umbrella and the sand. Then I moved to a slightly darker to add a shadow under the umbrella, and then blended it out with E30. I do have the colors on screen so you can follow along. Now moving on to the water using a slightly darker shade. This is E35, coloring it all in here, just kind of getting that base down. Once I've got that all colored in, then I'll go to a slightly darker color, which is E57, coloring a little bit darker at the top, and then I'll grab my E35 again and just kind of blend out that darker color to get a soft gradation for the ocean. Now we're going to move on to the mountains, and these are going to be my darkest, starting with that E57 again, just going to color pretty much everywhere on the mountains with that. And then my darkest shade here is E77, starting at the base of the mountains and kind of flicking up to kind of get that feathered motion to hopefully create a soft gradation. Now I'm back with E57 to kind of blend it out, and then I'll finish with a little bit more E77 just to kind of darken it up a little bit more, to make a little bit more contrast between the mountains, the water, and the sand, because they're all pretty much just brown. Now for the very tops, I'm going back to E31 and then E35, and then blended it out. Now for the palm tree, I'm going back to my lightest color for the palm fronds, and then I will go to E31 at the kind of base of the palm fronds and then blend it out a little bit. Then for the trunk, E35 first is my light, then E57, and then I'll finish with my darkest shade again, which is E77. And that will actually finish all my coloring for the ivory panel. Now we're onto the white panel, starting with the same colors here for the sand. So first E30, then E31 to create that shadow under the umbrella, blended it out a little bit more with E30. Now I'm back to E30 for the umbrella, and then I'll go to E31 to add a little shadow on the pole and at the top, and then a little bit of E35 at the very tip top. Then just blended it out a little bit. Now we're going to move on to the water, starting with my lightest shade here, which is BG10, and just going to color almost all of the water with this light shade. Once I get that down, I'll then move to my medium shade, which is BG32, and then I will finish with BG13. And once I get that color down, I'll then blend it out back with the BG32, and then I'll finish with the BG10. And I'm not sure if you noticed so far that I did stamp my water upside down, but I just went with it. That darker line should actually be at the top, but oh well, it's fine. Now I'm going to move on to the mountains. I started with E35 and then E57. Then I'll blend it back out a little bit with that E35, and now I'm on to the green, which is G43, which is my lighter shade, and then YG67. After I get that darker shade down, I'll then blend a little bit more with the G43, and then I'll finish the very top of these mountains with some more brown, that E57, or first was E35 and then E57. Now I'm going to color this little top here that I missed, and then we'll move on to the sky. So for the sky, I'm doing a little bit different blue, less kind of like pool, more true blue, and start with my darker shade and then blend it out with B0000. And once I finish kind of coloring and blending that sky out, we're ready to finish up our coloring with this little palm tree, starting with our 2 green combo again, G43 first, which is the lighter shade, and then YG67 kind of at the base again. And now that I finished that, I'll just blend it a little bit and then move to the trunk. And I'm actually going to color the trunk the exact same way that I colored the trunk for the sepia tone ones. And once I finish that, I'll actually be done with all my Copic coloring. So a lot of Copic coloring, but pretty simple. So here you can see the 2 finished scenes, and I went ahead and die cut the palm trees out. And now we're going to move on to die cutting out our scenes. I'm going to start by positioning and centering that 2 1/4 inch circle. And once I get that kind of framed up the way I want, then I'll grab the larger circle here, which is actually 2 1/2, so just a little bit bigger, placed it around that 2 1/4 circle, remove the 2 1/4 circle, and now I'm ready to run that through my die cutting machine. Now I'm going to basically kind of repeat this process for the second one, but I'm just going to kind of save myself a little bit of trouble and use the negative to kind of center that die and then run it through my die cutting machine. And now I have my 2 pictures ready to add to my card base. But before I kind of put my card base together, I do need to do some stamping onto all my panels. Starting with this front panel here, I grabbed a hibiscus flower and a leaf from the kit, and I'm just inking them up in moss ink and just kind of doing this tone-on-tone stamping over this panel of colored cardstock, so over the front panel. Now that I have that done, I'm going to move the panel to my Misty and I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I did pop in my scene and the palm tree just so I could get the positioning of my sentiment right, and then I stamped the sentiment back in that Cup of Joe ink. Now I'm going to basically kind of do the same thing for the inside. I positioned my second scene or my second picture, positioned my second sentiment, and then inked that up in Intens-ified black ink and stamped it on that inside panel. So now we're ready to kind of put it all together because we got all our stamping done. The first thing we need to do is add some score tape. This is 1/8 of an inch score tape, and I'm going to add it to the back side on that little flap. And now we're going to start by adhering the inside to the front piece. I'm going to grab some liquid glue here. This is the Hues Precision Glue. Just add it to that inside piece, and then I'll just kind of line it up with the edge and the back of that front piece. And the nice thing about the liquid glue is it gives me a little bit of wiggle room to get that totally lined up so the windows are perfectly lined up together. And now we're ready to add the back piece. And once we add that, we're done. I'm just going to remove the backing on that score tape and add it to the second flap on the inside piece. You can see it gets added to the inside piece, not the front piece. And once I get that stuck, I'll then just grab my scoring tool to really make sure that score tape is stuck down. And we actually have the card base all done. You can see that flap from the front goes first, and then the back flap goes down. And when we open this, that flap from the front will kind of slide in to reveal the second picture. So pretty cool design. Now we're ready to just kind of put it all together. So I'm going to start by adhering my first picture to the back flap. I'm going to kind of line it up here in that window, use a couple pieces of tape to hold that scene in place, and then I'll grab my liquid glue and just add some liquid glue to the back side of that scene. Then I'll place down that back flap to stick it down onto that scene, and now I can remove my tape because that's all stuck down and in place. Now we need to put in our second picture. So I'm going to make sure my flap from the front is in place, open it up so it slides in, and then I'll tuck in my scene here, get it kind of nice and framed up in that window. Then I'll grab a couple pieces of tape to hold it in place, and then I can flip it over, flip back that flap from the front, add a little bit of liquid glue to that scene, and then place that flap down on it so it is stuck to that front flap. And that will actually be all our pictures in place, so I can now remove the tape and just finish this up with our palm trees. But before we add the palm trees, I do want to address one little problem. Because we used a die cut image for that back flap, the front flap seems to get caught a little bit catching on that image. You'll see here, I'll kind of point it out. So that front flap will kind of get caught on that edge of that circle from the back picture. You can see here, right here, where it gets caught. And that just makes the movement not as fluid. It's a real easy fix. I learned this from Jennifer McGuire. Just use a piece of Scotch tape on the very edge there. Don't go really past 1/4 of an inch. And that little Scotch tape almost creates like a little ramp so the edge of our second picture doesn't get caught on that picture in the back. Now we're ready to finish this up by adhering our palm trees. Just use some liquid glue for the palm tree in the center of our card. And then for the palm tree on the very front, I did add some foam tape to the back of it, and I'm just going to make sure I line this up so it kind of goes with the palm tree that's on the inside. So both are kind of lined up and look really seamless when it's all closed up. And you can see here we opened it up. Our picture slides beautifully into that window. And I just love the peekaboo card design. It's a pretty easy interactive card to make, but it's really great for storytelling. For this card, I was kind of thinking that you would see that front vintage photo that goes along with the sending you peaceful thoughts, and then you open up the card and then that photo kind of becomes real. You all of a sudden get this real tropical scene, hopefully a really relaxing looking scene. I hope you guys enjoyed today's card and video. If you have any questions about the products I use, please head over to Hero Arts. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.